any of the platform unification directives. For years they have given us their songs, their labor, their dreams. In exchange, we have taken our tribute, our profits, our control. This power is ours and ours alone. We shall prevail.
Wow. Whew. Okay. Welcome to Power Up. I am your host, Paul Chapo. And what you just witnessed was Epic Games, the massively successful maker of Fortnite and among other games. They also, I want to mention, have their own platform where they sell games. So that was, of course, directed at Apple. What problem do they have with Apple, you ask? Well, this is the problem they have. Apple gets 30% of everything, every microtransaction that a Fortnite player makes on the mobile version of Fortnite, they get 30%. And this just isn't on Apple's iOS platform. This is also on Android, on the Google Play Store. So what happened is Epic, they offered some transactions to mobile iOS users, allowing them to make transactions without going through Apple's App Store. And in retaliation, Apple removed the game from all iOS devices, or not devices, but from the store itself. And so did Google Play, or Alphabet, which is the company that owns Google now. They removed all the Fortnite games from the Google Play Store. So in retaliation, Epic sued Apple, and I think they sued Google or Alphabet too. So here we are. So here's the problem with all of this. As I just mentioned, Epic Games, they have their own game store, and they charge 12% on all purchases on their store. So essentially, Epic is doing the same thing they're accusing Apple of doing, but the only problem with Apple's approach is they're taking 30% instead of 12%. I guess that's like the industry average. Although I will say, Epic's store competes with Steam, and Steam collects 30%. They have been doing that for years. So here's what I think is going on, and there's an article in Gadget in case you want to read up on it. Many sites have an article about this. Engadget's article is the most comprehensive, I think. And what they're saying is that Epic has a store, a gaming store on PCs, and I think they're planning to put that store on mobile devices, and they don't want to pay that 30% anymore. So they're just going to draw the line in the sand right now and go ahead and raise this issue with Apple. And hopefully the government will do some kind of antitrust action and Apple will have to lower their price or whatever. And that's a little bit more likely if Democrats get control of the White House. So we'll see. Here's the problem with some of what Epic is saying, and Apple doesn't have a monopoly on a market, and antitrust laws basically are to make sure a company doesn't get too much monopoly control on a particular market. And the market I'm talking about is mobile phones and mobile devices. Apple does not have a monopoly on that. Yes, they have a monopoly on their own product, but it doesn't apply to that. That would mean every company has a monopoly on their own product. I mean, nobody else makes Apple phones or iPads or whatever, or iPhones, I should say. So but that doesn't mean they have a monopoly. You can't have a monopoly on your own product. You can only have a monopoly on a market. So if Apple had something like 90% market share in the phone industry, Epic would have a better kind of argument for antitrust regulations. But Apple doesn't have that. In fact, I think Samsung has more phones than Apple, or they sell more phones. So that's the first problem with this. I think they're going to argue that Apple has most of the mobile app store market. So they might have an argument there. I think Apple's revenue from the App Store dwarfs every other competitor. And basically, I'm just talking about Google Play. I think they make more money out the App Store than Samsung and Google combined. So, because I think Samsung has their own store. So, that's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I don't quite know where this is going to end up. Usually these type of things don't hit me at home, but my daughter actually plays the mobile version of Fortnite on her phone with her boyfriend, who plays it on PlayStation. And here's another interesting thing: what impact, if any, will antitrust ruling have on PlayStation and Xbox? Because they also get a fee from every game that's sold on their stores, or they get a fee for every game that appears on their console. There's no other place you can buy a PlayStation game or a Microsoft game. You have to go, or you have, every game you buy for those platforms, Microsoft or Sony's getting a cut, and also Nintendo for that matter. So I think Epic Games is kind of stepping into the minefield here. The only other problem I see for Apple is this: Apple doesn't level this revenue sharing thing with all apps. Like, for instance, if you put Netflix on your phone, Apple doesn't get a cut of Netflix subscriptions. And I think Amazon, if you buy something on Amazon's app, I don't think Apple gets a cut of that. I might be wrong about that, but I think this article said something about that. So Apple has a problem there. But I think how Apple has responded to this is that they do this for games and microtransactions, and they don't do it for like entertainment apps like Netflix and services like Amazon, something like that. I think Apple actually has an explanation for that. But like I said, do yourself a favor, read this Engadget article. It covers everything. So, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I just thought it'd be interesting that it is going to be some kind of show here on gaming, because gaming is so important now that we've had this pandemic, and it's going to get even more bigger and bigger as this pandemic draws itself out into 2021. So we'll see what happens. I'll update you as this story progresses, so to speak. So anyway, I'd like to thank my subscribers, encourage you to subscribe if you've already subscribed. Give me a like, give me a comment, and let me know what you feel, and smash that bell if you haven't already, so you know when my next video drops. And until next time, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.